Are we live?
Yes.
Uh-oh,
Yes, we are.
there it is.
Hello, guys.
Howdy, howdy.
This is episode 2 of Not Another Goddamn Podcast.
Yes, indeed. And you thought it wouldn't last.
Right? We made it this far. Why stop now?
We're at the point of no return.
I mean, I feel like we've got a real Iron Man, Kyle Ripken streak going right now.
Totally, man. We've got a Garrig going.
We do. It's gonna be a huge one, and I feel good about it. Like I say, I'm planning to live forever. So far, so good. I've got a good streak going.
Hell yeah.
So
I guess I am, because I can't die to save my life.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck's going on,
we're all trying
man.
to, but we haven't succeeded yet.
I'm the only person that could jump into a wood chipper and the wood chipper break.
We do have 3 viewers. That's a good thing.
Hey, that's something,
Hi,
man.
guys, if anybody's watching, go ahead and send us a comment.
If you can hear us, if everything sounds good, let us know, man, because I wouldn't want to turn the shit on here and have the shit feeding back just in case.
We're trying a new setup here, guys, because we tried our phone last time and it kept telling us we couldn't rotate it, and some of y'all were angry about that.
Because you wanted to see my ugly ass.
Yeah, but here we are, both in frame, decently well lit. It's pretty cool. Hi, Carol. What's up?
How are you?
How is everybody?
Yeah. We'll start off with a simple question.
Send us a comment. Let us know what you want us to talk about. We've got a few things going on, but basically I've been playing record producer. Many of you know I'm also playing with Disarm the Fallen, and we're trying to get together a single. Lee and I put together a single with just him and myself on it, and we played that for you last week. So I've already sent it over to Lee. We're gonna punch it up here and show you guys here in a little bit when we got a few more viewers, and we're gonna just show you guys what I've been doing for them. Of course, it's the same kind of deal, it's just a few of us on it. Don't have anything totally finished yet, but work in progress. We're kind of branching out. We're doing some things, trying to get into some recording. We're trying to get into doing this podcast thing for you guys. We're trying to answer questions. We're trying to basically remind you guys that we're not dead yet.
Yeah, we're
just circling the drain, as it were, but we're not quite there yet.
We're just letting you know that we're out here.
Yeah, we are.
As old Joey Diaz would say.
Let you know we're out here and we're alive and that we're doing something right or wrong.
Yeah, I mean, so many people always keep asking me when they actually see me, when I make appearances. They'll ask me, what are you doing with the band? And I just kind of look at them and smile and go, just wait. Just wait. It's something will happen. Something always does. It doesn't keep me. It's just strange, man, because usually things fall, when they fall apart, they don't get back up. But with this, it just seems to keep getting back up. This 9-year-old baby is refusing to die.
Yeah, we're just too stubborn. That's
all man, we're too tough to die, man.
Too stubborn to go away.
And too silly to know any better.
This is true. So, what else is going on in Leland so far?
Well, I'm quite pleased with my New York Yankees. 15-3, they delivered a shellacking to the Orioles.
Cheers.
Oh God, they got to quit getting injured. They just got to quit getting injured. I mean, it's been 10 years since we won one. And being a Yankees fan, I got greedy in the 90s. I got real greedy, man. Well, the 98 team was the greatest professional sports team of all time.
I'm a Pirates fan. I'm used to losing.
Well, in the 80s, man, in the 70s and 80s, it wasn't good to be a Yankees fan. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, no. Thank you. Got it from a very lovely person. But yeah, I've been keeping up with the Yankees, because usually when things are bad, they usually end up cheering me up and making me feel better. And and that and around this time is always like April is kind of always a weird and dark time because it marks the anniversary of Joey's passing, and then the next day is the passing of Peter Steele from Typo Negative, and those were two guys. If you know me, they're in my top five. Like, as much as I love the Ramones, I love Joey. And Joey was always my inspiration. I mean, I didn't get the other three tattooed on me, but I've got Joey tattooed on me. And he was the guy that gave me the courage to get up on stage and sing for all you sad butts that actually want to hear my voice. You know? I mean, I don't know what the hell y'all are thinking.
Man, we do. We're getting more viewers. That's nice.
Yeah, it's picking up.
If you're out there, say hi.
Yeah, totally. Step up and say howdy, man. We're cutting through the mustard right now. That's pretty much it.
Leave us a comment. Leave us a question. Let us know how your evening's going. Send us a complaint. I'm sure there's plenty of those.
Oh, there's gonna be. Hey, Lee, stop the fuck word cussing.
Yeah. Listen, man.
You
we're
have to
heavy
say
metal
words.
band. I'm sorry. Like, it's just a word. Like, calm down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all it is. I mean, at least I'm not shaking my little wiggly penis out on the camera.
Oh, man. This video has been flagged. It violates Facebook's community standards.
Don Vincent said it best. Are you laughing, biatch? Do you find it funny? Repeat after me, bitch. I come in the name of Jesus. What's up, Scott? Yeah, man, that dude. If you ever go on YouTube, totally look up the Ghetto Preacher. You will laugh your ass off. This dude is ridiculous. Like, I had him as a friend on Facebook for a while. And he was commenting on my stuff. And I was like, oh my God, the Ghetto Preacher's commenting on my stuff. And I guess he, like, got deleted or something, or he lost his Facebook. But it was him. Because, like, somebody said something on my page about something. And he said, Bahoo Power, bitch. And I knew it was him because, like, he had a website called Bahoo Power. And watch your fucking mouth. Yes. 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 The first one of the night. That's so great. But yeah, I got to watching that dude, and there's like hours of his shit.
My dad's watching.
Oh, what's up, sir? How you doing? And like he's got pimp clothes on with mountains and shit behind him, like a church sermon on TV. And he's standing there and he's put the Tupac tape in. Put that goddamn Tupac tape in. And he's got that pimp cane and he's just dancing and tearing it up, dude.
Jesus.
I swear it is the best. I hate the expression it'll change your life, but it will, and it will totally make you wonder what the hell you're watching. But you'll have a great time doing it, man. It's as long as you love to be offended, you're golden.
Everyone loves to be offended.
Where the hell are you at? I love you dearly, but where in the fuck are you at? Can I go there and live?
Well, we all got to claim our little corner of the offense,
Dude.
It's our favorite thing to be in this country is offended.
Oh, dude, that's all people do, man.
I'm offended.
Well,
that offends me.
Well, I had a meme I shared a couple weeks back.
My sis is on
and,
too.
Hey, girl, and there's a picture that had just Andrew Dice Clay with a cigarette in his hand, and it's like, oh, you're offended? Well, let me introduce you to this guy. I love that motherfucker still. He's still got it. That show, like, he's got some show, I think it's on Stars. And it's on it's on its third season. It is fucking excellent. It's excellent. And speaking of things, have you you haven't had a chance to see any of the new movies out yet, right? See, I'm a lazy git, and how you doing, Teresa? And
What's up?
I'm a lazy git, and I kind of find movies that I shouldn't be watching, and I watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I was kind of if last night, so I watched a couple flicks, and I watched the new Pet Cemetery.
Oh, really?
Me, I
What do you think?
consider Pet Cemetery because I loved Stephen King growing up.
Right.
I mean, Creepshow is my favorite horror film, but
We know he's dead to you now. I understand.
yeah,
I
yeah.
understand.
And I hate it because the man was so excellent and wrote such great stuff. But just, I think in the past few years, he lost his edge.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it has. It's been a while. And I mean, but he lost his edge, and uh, they could have went so many different directions with the movie and chose to almost keep it like the 89 movie, but switch things around. And switch things around to a point to where it was uncomfortable for me.
Really.
Yeah.
It was too much change.
Yeah, well, it was just certain things that just didn't make sense for me
Okay.
personally. I mean, and that story is scary. I mean, that book is scary. It's scarier than hell. And I mean, I was little when I read it, so it made an impression on me.
Yeah.
A big impression.
I don't think I've ever actually read the book.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a huge King fan, but that's just one that I've never actually gotten.
Well, I'm
to
being
read.
extremely vague with my critique on it.
I mean, I've seen the movie. I tell you what ruined the movie for me was the lead guy. Like, he just wasn't a good actor. I mean, he just.
Love you
like,
too, Nate.
Yeah, it was very wooden. Like, his whole
Yeah,
performance, he was
I don't
just,
think
he was just reading lines, man.
because Lewis Creed is a god that you kind of feel. That's right, man. That's why I threw the shine at Nate. I love him. And but like Lewis Creed is like this passionate dude that is a flaming idiot. I mean, he saw what happened the first time he did what he did.
Right.
He saw it and didn't even think of the consequences. And see, again, to spare any bits, they didn't delve. Hey, what's up, Brian? They didn't delve into a really terrible anecdote that he wrote in it.
Okay.
And maybe in a couple of weeks, we might release a Corey.
Oh, Corey.
We might release a follow up, but it's Stephen King is famous for his descriptive mannerism, and with movies you don't get it. You just don't get you. The one thing Stephen King got from Robert E. Howard is his incredible descriptive mannerisms. Like, I mean, you open up a book, man. When you open up the book, you're in the middle of the place. You're totally you're sitting right beside Conan when he's either having his way with a woman and hacking somebody up. You're right there. And so you lose a lot of that with a movie. And you're trying to cram a lot of mannerisms into a movie, and a lot of anecdotes and a lot of stories and a lot of backstory. So already you kind of lose me there with it. But there's clever ways around it, and unfortunately nobody that can write a script can do that.
Corey says, I can't stay. I got baby girl with me, but I love you guys.
I love you too.
Love you too.
Give a big hug to the baby.
Now, man. Did you hear?
I really.
Yeah.
Congrats being home, baby. You
Yeah.
rest up. You take care of yourself.
Well, try to make it up to your show, man.
Indeed, and give a hug to the abs for me. But no, but like I said though, I think I think people are going to really like it, but because it's just how horror has reared its head now.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's pretty bad when I have to hope for a good slasher film. You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty bad. Now I will say this: Santa Clarita Diet season 3's bitching, very bitching. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that. Yeah, I snuck that too. Because my Netflix don't work on on my fucking computer.
Really?
It freezes. So I have to go elsewhere. So I basically pay an extra bit of money just for my
To
phone
have a
to fuck
service
around.
that you can't use.
Yeah, but I have it for my phone.
Yeah.
And hey girl, love you too. And I ended up I can put it on this.
Yeah.
And because I was just noodling around with that fucking thing, just to see if we could like use it, and I guess we can.
I mean, I guess it seems to be working.
Yeah, can you all see us and shit?
Nobody's complaining.
No,
Nobody's
no.
complaining about the sound quality. Everybody seems to be hearing us.
Misery was fucked up, very fucked up, and really and truthfully, there was to again for lack of spoilers, because I don't know who's seen what or what's seen who. There was only one really major detail left out of Misery, and goddamn was it a beast. Oh God. I mean, yeah, man. I actually took my mom to go see that at the Canal Cinemas on Thanksgiving, and I clapped when Paul did what he had to do.
Right.
And the place just started cheering, and Mom's like, Jesus. She said, the volume could be louder.
Oh.
And you guys are coming in loud and clear to me. Yeah, I'm scared to.
I don't know
I'm
how to
scared
mess
to
with it.
fuck around with it.
We just have to enunciate.
He's right. Is
Yeah.
that it?
I don't know. Is there the volume knob? I do not know where it is. Oh, look.
Oh,
I
no,
turned
no,
it
no, no.
down.
I
Let's turn it up.
turned down for what?
Turn down for what? Turn it up. Turn it up.
Those dudes in the boat. Turn down for what? The
Uh-oh.
dude's glasses go flying. That's some funny shit right there.
Yeah, we're on this fancy lap tablet thingamabob.
Fancy.
Looks like it came from KB Pond, probably.
Yeah, it probably did.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean,
good deal.
everything's ghetto around here, man.
Yeah,
I'm
man,
as bad as the trailer park
Dude, I'm
boys.
making our records on ghetto stuff.
But it
It's a
sounds
hand-me-down
good.
computer from a friend. You know, it's one of the cheaper audio interfaces you can buy with all free software, man. And I'm just doing what I can. Honestly, like everybody out there. That's what you got to do. You know, like if you're a creative person and you're out there trying to do what you got to do right now, like the tools are accessible. You know, it's cheap. Um, what I'm working with, honestly, pretty much all of our home studio stuff that I'm working with costs like a total of like $70. I would say maybe $100. It's ridiculous, you know.
It's
So-
quality, not. It's,
Hi,
it's-
Tori. My,
Yeah.
my work wife is watching.
Oh, what's up? Howdy. Yeah, it's quality, not how much you pay.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I'm sorry. I thought Anthrax's Volume 8 was awesome, and they practically did that whole fucking album themselves. You know, I mean, the only thing they didn't do was fucking distribute it.
Yeah.
And they ended up getting it redistributed somewhere else. I think Nuclear Blast ended up finally taking it. But, you know, but Volume 8 had some great moments on it, and it was completely recorded in their rehearsal room.
While we're on the subject, man, and we got some people watching, let's call up that
Yeah,
GTF track.
And while I'm doing this stupid shit, y'all, find Harrah's page, find Disarm the Fallen's page, and Give us a like, man. Give us a like if you haven't already.
And subscribe, man, when you give us a like, because sometimes they don't follow, you don't follow the page automatically. So make sure you're following the page so you get all the updates.
Fuck it.
That way you'll know when we're doing this thing. We're trying to make it a little bit more of a regular thing that we do. The first one was just kind of a trial thing. We got more people watching tonight.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. We're gonna call up this Disarm the Fallen track. It's just, a rough recording. There's a couple of members missing. Honestly.
Exactly.
We don't even have Jan's vocals on there. We got Matt Fitzwater's vocals on there.
Oh, you got Fitzy's on there?
Yeah, we got Fitzy's vocals, but we do not have Jan's vocals. We do not have real drums, and I played the bass instead of JP. We gotta have JP come in and play the real bass part. Here it is. Just kind of working on it at home. Hopefully, coming along. A little solo in the beginning out there. You gotta hear Greg's solo though. Greg's solo is where it's at. What's up, Mike? 75%.
Howdy do, howdy do. What up, Misty? How's Jacob? Can you hear the music at least? Mike?
Mike says he can barely hear us.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hi, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's picking up, ain't it?
I'm hoping so. Says music's rocking. Okay, cool.
Okay, so yeah. If you're just tuning in, this is Kenny's other band and our family band, Disarm the Fallen.
Yeah, we share guitarists. It's a lot of fun. Greg and I have decided we work well together. I really enjoy both projects. I think it's coming along pretty well.
Yeah,
Obviously, I think the recording is coming along. We just got to get everybody else on it. Got to get some real drums on it. Just talking to maybe taking everybody over to Dave's and track some real drums. See what happens that way. We're gonna try and do that too. Get him on it. So I think it could work out with some real
Thank
drums.
you, ma'am. Yeah, it could work out. Yeah, I think it would work out real good. And Dave has a great setup for drums.
He does. Yeah. It was really good working over there the last time we recorded. But I like the idea of doing most of it at home and just kind of using him for the drums because he has that good room and everything. He really knows how to mic a kit. And he knows how his kit sounds. He normally uses his shells. Maybe someone else, might bring in their own snare. I think Crispy's bringing in his snare and cymbals.
I don't even do that often.
But so my finger was covering my speaker. Oh, that's hilarious. Alice trying to turn up volume. That's hilarious.
Oh shit.
That sounds like something I would do.
I have clearly done it.
Yes, me too. This is Wayne's World. Wayne's World.
Party time. Excellent.
Oh, check out Greg's solo, dude. I love it.
Wow.
That dude can play.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fitzy sounds great, man.
Yeah. Doing a little bit of backing vocals on that too, but it's like mixed very low. Did the really high harmony part in my ear.
Right.
And I layered his voice a little bit too. I really like how his voice sounds layered because he sings his parts so tight, man. Like every time he did those parts, he did them almost identically. We did it, I think, I think we did it 4 or 5 times, and he did it almost identically 4 or 5 times. It was excellent.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great, man.
Yeah, see, I've suffered from can't do it once.
We gotta bring the rock and roll back. Yes.
We're trying, man. We're a dying breed out there.
We are. We're trying to keep it alive, man. We got people watching this show. It means it's not dead. You know, you're at home. You're watching us. Maybe you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music when you got a chance. Maybe we're getting you through work. Whatever we gotta do, you know.
Well, I remember clearly when I used to have Harrah's Pit. I didn't even have this many listeners on the radio station.
No, man. I mean, this is more engaging though. We can chat with people. People can see us. You know, we can see you. No, we can't. We can't really see you.
See you.
I know some of you are naked, and that's okay. You know, like if I weren't on camera right now, I might be naked myself, but. We have to be decent, you know. We don't want to violate Facebook's community standards.
And I don't want to turn motherfuckers to stone.
Yeah, we don't.
You know, I have severe Kevin Smithitis right now.
Kevin Smith.
It's called layers, man. Wear layers.
I'm layered up, but that's because it's springtime. You know, I got the tank
It
top.
does.
Oh, look, shout out to the Stonecutters.
Yeah,
rocking
man.
Their tank. I don't know if any of those guys are watching or if any of them will see it, but yeah, rocking their tank.
Salute.
Hell
Salute. Yeah,
And I've got my leather jacket, and I've got my jeans, and I've got my, you know, gotta have the layered look.
I'm totally rocking a beautiful motherfucking CBGB shirt.
Yeah.
It's got my woman on it, the Statue of Liberty.
Leah's all New Yorked out tonight.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't she beautiful? She's got tattoos all over. And she's got the Ramones Artie Vega seal on her hand. She's got the Misfits on her forearm, which is funny because they only played a handful of shows there because fucking Hilly Crystal and Glenn Danzig got into it. And that was a legendary fight. Where is it? There's the Clash, there's the Sex Pistols, there's the Agnostic Front.
Oh, man.
And my favorite thing I used to draw in all my notebooks in school, fucking New York hardcore, man.
Yep.
SOD, fucking the Cro-Mags, Carnivore was hardcore, and then Carnivore split and became Biohazard and Typo Negative.
Ashley thinks we should start the Naked Rocker podcast.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
I don't know if that's gonna go over well on this format. Maybe we should go on Chatterbait for that.
Yeah, but we'd have to put little sticks in places. And ding, whoa! Thank you.
Oh,
And as I,
no.
whoa! Thank you. Fuck yeah, Stormtroopers of Death. You remember?
Yeah.
You remember me jamming that shit in school, Mike? Yeah, fuck yeah. I never changed. Like, it's funny. You know, when I go see shows, like now, some of the people, hey girl, some of the people out there, like, that would go to shows would be the dudes flipping me shit. Sergeant D is coming and you're on his list. Damn right. Speak English or die. But, like, nice. Yeah, you were one of the ones that actually defended me in school when all the other kids were like, Pink Floyd's a better band. Nick Mason's a better drummer than Nico McBrain. And for years, that sored me with Pink Floyd. Years it grieved me the fuck up. Oh, I would look at him and I just want to punch someone with short hair in a Coca-Cola sweatshirt. Fucking prep bitch motherfuckers. God damn, I hated them motherfuckers when I was a kid.
High school clique.
Oh,
man.
yeah, them little clique
like
bitches.
Nothing like
Oh,
it.
dude.
Fist bump that shit.
Oh, dude, fuck them. Fuck them. Because, dude, I was true through and through with my love for my music. And a lot of times, man, I took flack for it. And yes, it was first grade. It was first grade. Yes, sir. That's exactly when that was. Miss Dorito's class. Funny enough, and that was her name.
That's great, dude.
Yeah, she didn't like me. Come think of it, no fucking teachers did like me. No teachers liked me. Oh, dude, I gave teachers complexes.
I was a teacher's pet.
Was
I
you?
was.
But you're a sweetheart. Me, I'm a fucking asshole. They didn't like me. They didn't like me at all. Oh my God, they didn't like me.
I got in trouble when I get bored. Like I would do dumb things when I get bored. Like I'd draw like cartoons of the teacher like picking their nose, or I would like make paper airplanes, or like like do imitations of people and stuff. And I get in trouble, and then like they eventually double promoted me. I got sent from 3rd grade to 5th grade.
Holy shit!
Because they're like he's bored.
Oh yeah, well see, they just like on all my paperwork. Lee is a bright student. He's loud, but he doesn't pay attention. He doesn't pay attention. He doesn't pay attention.
It's
He
that
doesn't pay.
ADD thing, man.
It's exactly what it was,
exactly
man.
what it is. You still have it, but it's okay.
What's the first
What are you gonna
band
do?
you remember liking a lot?
My first band?
Yeah. We'll let you go first.
The first band I remember really liking a lot was probably the first rock band I remember being really into was probably Guns N' Roses, because that was big when I was a kid, and
Yes,
Guns
sir.
N' Roses was always a little bit scary to me.
Yeah,
You
they were
know?
dirty, dude. They were dangerous.
And I liked that. It was like the horror movies that you weren't supposed to look at and stuff like that. Like Appetite for Destruction came out when I was like 3, and it like
Welcome
they
to
were,
the jungle.
They were big, all through my childhood.
Right.
So like right around the time that like Use Your Illusion came out, that would have been the time that I really like my earliest real memories of
Carol's
anything.
Crew, right?
So I remember that being like the band that was like cool to listen to, but also kind of dirty to listen to. It was like Andrew Dice Clay. It was like it was George Carlin. It was shit you weren't supposed to listen to, but it was cool. And I started getting really into that idea when I was maybe 7 or 8 years old. It was a cool thing to like AC/DC or to like like Guns N' Roses, and that was why I liked it. I got to admit it was a thing. It was rebellion and perversion. You weren't supposed to like it, and that's why I liked it.
Mama Shell was a dirty ass song.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, a lot of that stuff on Appetite is just really, even today, like you hear it, you're like, ooh, that would maybe not even fly because it's so PC, that's maybe why rock and roll can't really be a thing, because somebody would get Instagram flamed or Twitter flamed for a lot of the lyrics that were in those songs,
man.
You write a song like Anything Goes or like My Michelle or something like that, like
probably the most dangerous dude now is Bobo's over here asleep behind Kenny.
Yeah, Bobo's
he is
down.
Out. He is right over here and
he
out.
likes to cuddle with me. He's just off frame. He's actually right here.
Yeah, but Bobo is close. He ain't much of a camera guy unless I'm taking pictures. Kiki is probably in the kitchen on the kitchen table. That's where she probably is.
Yeah, Keek makes an occasional appearance. So who was your first band that you were seriously into? Like, first band?
Jesus. It was Kiss.
Really?
My sister, my sister was obsessed with Kiss. And when I saw Gene Simmons breathing fire, fucking his bass, puking blood, he was a monster. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, that motherfucker is scary. I love him. And then right behind them, I mean like scraping right behind them, and I give a whole lot more love to to the even more dysfunctional family that is Kiss, I was lost the second I heard Eddie Van Halen's guitar.
Oh man.
When I heard Eddie's guitar on Dance the Night Away, that blew me the fuck away.
Now, see, Eddie is actually a part. He's a part of the syndrome of what got me playing guitar.
Oh, dude! Well, that's what got Eric on Hot for Teacher.
It was a combination of a bunch of different
The
things.
drums, that opening bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Dad's still watching this. You know, he'll remember like a lot of the things I would see when I was a kid. You know, like were guitar related, was like classic rock stuff. You know, and Eddie was like the first like real guitar virtuoso guy that I saw, and it made me really want to play. Eddie and the Jimi Hendrix set from Woodstock.
Oh man!
When I saw that, like we rented that when I was maybe 12 or so, and I saw that, and I was like, I need a guitar. Actually, before then, even like I mean, I was always kind of like a musically curious kid. Like I had acoustic guitars laying around. Dad plays, but he doesn't really play. Like he knows chords and stuff, but he doesn't, like he doesn't take it super seriously. It's just kind of more like a hobby thing. And he always had guitars laying around, but it was mostly acoustic guitars. Like he had like broken electric guitars laying around. I was always like way interested in those because they look cool,
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah,
the electric,
man.
or the acoustic guitars was what really was like. I would usually I would just bang on the strings, and I liked that sound and stuff, and I would mess with them, but I didn't really play.
Well,
And all through childhood, like they were around, but guitar never took me until it was electric guitar. So I got into keyboards. I tried keyboards. I didn't really succeed at the keyboards. I tried drums, and I just broke the drums because I wanted to be Animal. Animal was my first musical influence. Animal from the Muppet Show.
Eat drums.
Yes, drum, Animal, drum, and I wanted to do that. And that, I mean, I got a couple of toy sets, but they were toys, and I was a kid and Animal, and I broke them all. And I mean, I don't know if if Mom and Dad knew you could change the heads on the drums, or they just didn't want me to know that you could change the heads on the drums. And they're like, well, you're not a drummer anymore. Okay,
baby,
sorry.
we're sorry you broke your drums.
Yeah, you're not a drummer anymore.
You poor thing. Let's just put these outside.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. So, I mean, I bang on pots and pans still and stuff, but I wasn't a drummer. So, like, keyboards didn't really stick. I mean, they stuck enough to where I can still kind of pluck around on the keyboards and I know what notes are what, but I'm not good.
I can play Mary Had a Little Lamb.
But, man, like, when I started, I'd hear stuff on the radio and, like, be riding in the car, and I'd grab Dad by the shoulder and be like, what's that? And he's like, that's a guitar. And I'm like, that's not a guitar. You got guitars. They don't sound like that. He's like, that's electric guitar. There's a big difference in how electric guitar sounds versus acoustic guitar. I'm like, I want to play electric guitar. That was the thing. It was like, that was the start of the argument. It was like, we were maybe like, I was maybe 9 or 10 when that happened. And then I would see the Van Halen videos on TV.
Oh,
Eddie on the desk, in the Hot Potato
and he's
video
just,
and stuff. And
it's like it's nothing to him. He's just
awesome, he's having such a good time, and it's effortless to him.
Yeah,
And that's
dude.
what I wanted to do. I wanted to be that guy.
And he had that $1 million like Cheshire cat grin.
Yeah, that California grin.
Yeah,
you
dude.
Just wanted to be that. He was so cool, and you just wanted to be him. And I've spent my whole life trying to be as cool as that guy.
Well,
I've never made it,
but
I
loved
trying it.
And I loved the guy that sang for him's voice, and I was like, who is that guy?
Yeah.
And my mom would like lean back in her chair and go, "Oh, David Lee Roth." She's like, "I don't know much about that there Van Halen man, but god damn that David Lee Roth." And I mean, she would clutch her chest. She's like, "That man is sex." She's kicking them legs up in the air. She's like, "That man is fine." Oh, she loved her some David Lee Roth. She loved her some David Lee Roth. And so, but what really got me and what I paid attention to, yeah, man, Ma was, she was a big Buddy Holly fan. Buddy Holly and Ricky Nelson. And Ricky Nelson was actually the first concert I ever went and saw. I saw him at fucking, where you call it, Cannon Park, when they used to have the concert series. And my mom, she's like, she was so moved by those guys. They were her favorites. And strangely enough, both of them their last song was Not Fade Away right before they got into an airplane, and both died in plane crashes. Fucked her up. Fucked her up. She couldn't watch the Buddy Holly story without just breaking into tears. Like right before she died, man, I'd hear the symphony music of True Love Ways playing. And she'd be sitting there with her hands in her face, just shaking, crying. Because that was such a big thing. And Mom was one of the first people to make me go, wow, this dude played music. She was moved by his music. She knew everything about him, but never met him, never got to thank him. But he taught her almost everything about music. And like when I was little and I'd sing in the car, she'd bop me if I was off key. She'd bop, go higher, higher. And I'd be driving, okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Mother autocorrect.
And yeah, and well then years later, man, when I got into heavy metal real heavy, and at the time, like after the heavy metal band that I discovered, and it was by accident. I was playing with my He-Man figures, and the Battle Ram vehicle had these little lipstick rockets that had little demons on the front of them, flat. You could put one through a kid's fucking eye and it'd go out the other side of his head. Oh, that motherfucker, dude, I bet them motherfuckers are still loaded for bear. Because it took everything in you to put it in, and you'd hear it snap. And then you'd flip that little candy orange button, and it'd boom, and I'd make that sound too. Shit would ricochet off the walls, bust windows. I'm not kidding.
That is awesome.
Holler if you hear me, people of the 80s that had He-Man, classic He-Man toys. Not these $30 a fucking figures that you still end up paying $80 for, you cunting twats. But anyways, yeah, fuck the toy guru. Super 7 can do it because they're doing it from the ground up. But they still don't charge that much, and I think their toys are actually better. Because they actually make Iron Maiden figures. Fuck the world. But, like, and speaking of them motherfuckers, when I went to go get my rocket, I climbed up the side of this fucking, shimmied up the side of this, like, storage shelf unit. And I was touching their dust, got my rocket, and I felt a cassette tape. It's like, hey, I could put that in my Walkman and listen. Yeah, I had the woman's purse Walkman, the very first one. I'm showing my age. Shut the fuck up. Well, anyhow, I reach up there, and I'm finding one. I pull down this tape, and there's this scary-ass zombie on the cover. And I look at it, and I go, Iron Maiden. And I climb back down that motherfucker, and I go down and shimmy my little chubby ass over to my Walkman. Yes, Bradshaw! And I hit play, and Transylvania goes through my skull. And just, I mean, dude, Steve Harris's bass, like that, and fucked me up, ruined me for life, ruined me. I ruined. My brain just went, poured out through my ears, and all I wanted was heavy metal. And I was as bad as a fucking crackhead is after getting out of rehab. Oh, I'm okay. Yeah, I don't need to listen to my music. And Mom and Dad would take my Walkman away if I fucked around. And dude, I'd sit like in a fetal position on my bed. Because I love my fucking music, dude. Yeah, dude. And the only thing I would have, it wasn't this poster, but it's a perfect copy of the one, even down to the rips and discoloration. But I would sit and lay on my bed and look at that poster and play Number of the Beast in my head. and play the first album and play Killers and play Peace of Mind. I had memorized them so fucking much that I could just sit and look at that logo and play those albums in my head without having the Walkman. And it was just them, then ZZ Top, and that was pretty much my digs for a while. Till one of my friends, Jerry Kirk's buddy, Kurt, introduced me to Celtic Frost. And this guy down the street introduced me to Slayer. Here, kid, puff this, you know? And dude, after that, if it didn't have an upside down cross or a pentagram on it, I didn't want to fucking listen to it.
Oh, man.
And there it was, dude. But
the satanic panic of the 80s.
Oh yeah, but right before I started listening to Iron Maiden, I wrote a story in school about wanting to be a musician, a famous musician. And this little girl in class proofreads, because that was the catch. You had to proofread your fellow student's paper.
Oh, yeah?
And she looked at me and said, "You'll never make it. You're ugly. And rock singers are pretty. You're ugly. You're never going to make it."
Well, damn.
So I went home crying my fucking eyes out. I was devastated.
Don't spare my feelings.
Oh, no, man. Little kids are brutally honest, man. Kids can be fucking terrible.
That's
I mean, how many...
hilarious, man.
Well, I mean, today now, kids kill themselves. Like, they will turn on their live stuff, and instead of talk about the shit that they went through, they're opening up wrists, they're hanging, they're, it's all fucked up. What's up, Jeff? And they end up killing themselves because of what people say, and it's terrible. But yeah, kids are assholes.
Assholes, that's for
But
sure.
what ended up happening is this night, my mom and I were sitting and watching TV, and some channel, I want to say it was Night Flight, but I can't remember. Someone showed Rock and Roll High School in its entirety. And that was the day I met the world. That was the day I met the Ramones.
Man.
And here comes Joey driving up in a pink Cadillac, of all things, eating on a chicken leg. And chucks the chicken leg, gets out of the car, singing a song about wanting something to fucking do. And, and I was like, wow, he's got that hot chick from Halloween that showed her titties all over him. If that hot chick can dig on him, all I need is a leather jacket and a "what the fuck are you looking at" attitude. And so it kind of happened. It took a while, but it happened. And I just never went back.
Joey just kind of gave a lot of hope to, like, kind of awkward, like, not so great looking nerdy guys like me, like, it's like, that guy's a rock star, like, maybe I could be a rock star.
Yeah, man. Well, and I mean, the song "We're a Happy Family" was the first song about disgruntled kids and about dysfunctional families. Hey, Carla, but it was about dysfunctional families. Mama's telling lies, baby's eating flies, daddy's on pills, mommy's got the chills. My friends know the president, my friends know the Pope. They're all making a fortune selling daddy's dope. That's badass, man.
That's very heavy.
Well, and even 53rd and 3rd, yep, daddy likes me. Yes. They're Christmas cards to send, baby. But yeah, I mean, it was a taste of a world that we weren't allowed to watch because we all were wired into TV. Yeah. Everybody ate TV dinners and watched TV on their enormous 13-inch screen. Fucking TV was as big as your goddamn living room, but you had an enormous 13-inch screen.
Right. And
what's up, Larry? And there was that's why the whole punk movement happened. There was just no hope. That people just were, no future, no hope. And somehow the Ramones taught you how to play a guitar instead of like looking at people and going, man, there's no way I can do that. There's no way I can do that. Anybody could pick up a guitar and beat the shit out of a note. And that's what Johnny did with those downstrokes. He invented the fucking downstroke.
Yeah, man.
And I mean, even though I'm not a fan of Johnny Ramone for obvious reasons, the man did invent a genre, and he invented it from being a Charles Manson advocate. We'll get to that. We'll get to that another day. But that band showed me the world and gave me the courage to get up on stage and scare the shit out of you with my blubberousness and my terrible voice. So, you know, hey, fuck it. My give a fuck got shattered. I took a poop on it too and then flushed it. That's right, man. I poop on it. It's a whole bunch of shit. I poop on it all. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, Larry, I hear you, man. I ain't had a TV in probably 12 years. It's all on my computer. Yeah. But I do catch up with some shows, and I mean, maybe down the road, there are talks with, if this takes off pretty well, we've got a couple of extra ideas, and I'm not going to try to jinx anything or lead anything up, but we're looking to expand the topics of what we talk about and what we do. And eventually there might be some side episodes. There might be some, because here soon we're going to try to get some guests in and get some people that really want to be involved, maybe want to talk about stuff. I already have a couple of guys in mind that I want to talk to and get on here. And, yeah, Netflix, if mine would work on my goddamn TV. At Prime, I really want to get Prime because I'm a big fan of fucking Man in the High Castle. That fucking show fucked me up. That show, almost, this most recent season, he'll tell you, it almost gave me a nervous breakdown. I fucking lost my shit over that show.
Yeah.
But I want to catch up with The Tick. Season 2's out. I want to watch The Tick. But yeah, I mean, Amazon Prime's got it going, man. And, sell me a guitar. I know where to get them for you. And I could probably get you one cheap. Just, we'll have to work something out. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I have moments with Netflix. I have moments. But most of the time, I just go to one of my little sites and just click ads off and watch my shit that way.
I know what I'm going to end up watching.
What?
Because Allie's going to mandate it.
What's that?
The Netflix movie about Ted Bundy.
I've heard that's going to be pretty good.
Have you seen the trailers or anything?
Is that the one with that guy? What's his name?
Zac Efron. Yeah. He looks creepily like him. He looks a lot like him.
I always said that motherfucker would pull that off.
Really?
Because
I didn't think so at first, but then I saw the pictures, dude.
He's got that like creepy stare that Bundy has.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even need to do it well, like in those mean tweets. Like when they do mean tweets, why does it look like Zac Efron's a psycho like sleazebag or something? Somebody asked. And I was like, because Ted Bundy, welcome back. Jesus. It's like that fucking meme of the little ugly chubby girl that says reincarnation. Chris Farley, welcome back.
Oh God, yes.
That little fucking girl looked just like fucking Chris Farley.
Yes.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Because Ted Bundy was an interesting fella.
You know, I watched the
that's why I get so grieved about Charles Manson hate.
Yeah, well, Ted Bundy deserved the hate.
He killed those people. Charlie fucking didn't kill anybody.
The thing about Ted Bundy is, like, I watched the other Netflix thing. Yeah.
That's why.
I watched the other the Netflix thing about Ted Bundy, and it was so It was really infuriating, man. Like, if you listen to the guy talk, like, I mean, he didn't really admit to anything until like very very late in the game, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like if you hear him talk like before he's confessed to anything and he's trying to keep it up to that front, like everybody's like, oh, he was so charming and everybody thought he was so intelligent. And it's like you listen to him talk, man. Like I don't know if I would have pegged him for a murderer, but I definitely wouldn't have liked him, and I would have probably thought he was creepy, and I probably wouldn't have wanted to be around him.
Yeah,
Like
I
if you really
mean,
listen to how he talks, like he sounds like a dude that is trying to play the part of a human being that doesn't really know how to actually be a human being. It's like
he was so awkward.
he's like his mannerisms are thus. He would look down and he would say a thing, and he would kind of look up at you like this to see your reaction to what he was saying, and then he would probe just a little farther with his idea, and then he would feel like he had you hooked, so he'd pull back just a little bit. He would do that thing, and he was constantly reading the person, and I would watch that, and I'm like, that guy is a freaking actor, and he's a predator. Like, you can watch what he's doing, like he's gauging everything that the other person is reacting to, and that's he's tailoring his speech to that. He's not expressing his own thoughts. He's literally masquerading himself as a human being. It's really creepy to watch that.
Well, and see, here's the thing about Ted is the fact you're right. You're absolutely right.
It's
and but what ended up happening is he played very much like a Venus flytrap.
Right.
Like the fake cast.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get this in my car.
Or
Could
I'm
you-
a policeman. Like,
Yeah, could
your
you help
car
me get this in the car and then just knock?
Your car was dinged. We need you to come down to the station and fill out a police report. It's gonna be okay. I'll drive you there. I'm not in my car. I'm off duty, but it's gonna be all right. That guy, dude. I mean, he was good at what he did. Let's be real, but like what he did was horrible, and people. I think people
He very much
romanticize
was.
him too much.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Now, and see,
just because he was good looking, it's like what
and
like
oh, dude, well, it's the whole Richard Ramirez thing.
Richard Ramirez too. A
lot of women loved him. Women loved him, and that was his target audience. So what, lady? You tell me you don't? Oh, that's it. You don't want to live long. I mean, but I can see why, because like Ted, he was charming. But he just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he was.
He had issues and knew he had issues and didn't give a fuck what you thought about him. He was satisfying his deep primordial urge.
Yeah.
And again, that all, I mean, like, you'll get no arguments from me. Those motherfuckers deserved to ride the lightning.
Oh yeah. 100%.
They deserved to take a ride on the Yellow Mama. They deserve to go the way of Marv. I'm not going to sit here and say edgewise.
Well, because I mean, there's not a reliable rehabilitation
No,
strategy
no.
right now, and like to house them in prison indefinitely is costly, and I think probably kind of unjust in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. You're absolutely right. He can do that. That's why he drove V-dubs.
Mm-hmm.
And but again, when it comes to Charlie, like, cause I've gotten into so many heated arguments with people about Charles Manson's his innocence. Of course, he wasn't innocent. It was guilt by association, and with guilt by association, those girls had already planned to attack Polanski's house 2 days before Charlie got out of the pen for tampering with earth-moving equipment. I mean, he was still in jail when they were planning on doing that. And why did they do it? It wasn't because he orchestrated them and gave them vertigo eyes and you will kill people for me. Let's get something straight. Charles was a failure at everything. He couldn't be a good pimp, couldn't be a good drug dealer, he couldn't be a good car thief. He couldn't even get away with grand larceny, an open and shut deal that would have got him tens of thousands of dollars. And he fucked up because he was not good at being a criminal. He was an incredible musician. And even Terry Melcher, the guy that they said he was supposed to go to be killing, even said he turned me down. He turned me down. So with that being said, then what was the motive? Why did he go out and kill these people? Because, you dumb son of a bitch, he didn't. The guy that killed people was Bobby Beausoleil. And Bobby Beausoleil was the guy that ran the camp. Charlie was his consigliere. He was his Merlin to King Arthur. And, you know, and he did great stuff. Well, I'll tell you what, Carol, he ended up acquiring a gold album from the Beach Boys for Never Learned How to Love You. And that song was originally called Cease to Exist. And, you know, oh no, he was a great singer. If you've ever heard Lie, Lie is a great album. It puts you in mind of stuff that Gordon Lightfoot would do. And stuff that was semi-popular. He was a great musician. It was after a while when he was in jail, he put out these ridiculous albums because he knew people were stupid enough to pick it up. And he ended up just playing into people's hands after a while. Because he said, you know, it's my life that they're feeding on at the bottom. And he's like, and they don't even know what fucking happened. And even right after he died, that I'm trying, if anybody has like Manson's final words, hook me up, get in touch with me, get me a thumb drive. I don't give a fuck. I'll trade you something for it. Because it's the only documentary I haven't seen or made to TV thing, but I want to get my opinion straight on that. Because there was, I can't remember who it was because they all are so old and fucked up now. But one of the guys during that commercial was saying, my job was to convict Charles Manson. And he leaned back and he said, whether it was the truth on what I was supposed to convict him on was not the issue. My job was just to convict him. That whole bullshit about the Beatles' White Album, that whole bullshit about the hole in the fucking middle of the desert, that was bullshit. It was over drugs and money. It was over a bad pile of mescaline. You don't believe me? Go type up the fucking LAPD's fucking website and their database and look it up. There is no mention of the Beatles. There's no mention of the Bible, the chapter of Revelations. None of that. It was a big fucking smoke screen. It was a big smoke screen, and they used that the LAPD, due to their hilarious lackadaisical actions during that trial and during the everything that happened from August 8, 1969 to the arraignment in 70. Every bit of it was botched by the fucking LAPD. They couldn't even handle a key evidence. They had it in storage for 3 months and was about to burn it before it was brought to light. It was just absolutely, it was chock full of blunders, and the DA would not allow such a failure to be on the face of the LAPD.
No, dude, that's the LAPD.
Oh, yeah, and they were idiots. They were a bunch of fucking gumshoes trying to solve a hippie murder. And they just left them in circles. Which brings me to Charlie. Charlie was on the inside too much. The only thing he did was tell them, if you're going to kill these fucking people, dip right on the walls in blood the shit that Susan wrote when she and Bobby killed Gary Hinman. And, you know, and there it was. And it was a whole bunch of bullshit and lies. And I'm not being a conspiracy theorist, because his autobiography by Noel Edmonds and the LAPD files, basic court case files that were sealed until 1999. Why? I wonder why. They run parallel because that's the truth. That's the truth. And that's the truth that the magazines, the media, and everybody else didn't want you to know. And they made this two-bit loser who just wanted to go out in the desert, fucking some honey, smoking some weed, and play his guitar, the last true American heretic we had. And if you want another bit of information, there is a great documentary called Charles Manson Superstar. And I highly recommend that. But it's funny, all of the proper documentaries with the proper bits don't label him as a cult leader, as a person that makes people do things by the look in his eyes. It's bullshit. Yeah, the chicks liked him because he could talk his way into bed with them. That was about it. And plus, he didn't take as much acid as everyone else because it fucked with him worse. Because he was raped in prison. He was beaten severely. He was fucked up by abandonment issues. He would lose his shit, and the rest of the night, everybody would have to spend babysitting him. So, sounds like one hell of a mass murdering, killing, psychopathic son of a bitch, doesn't it? And yeah, it made it. You're absolutely right. It made him famous, and that's what it was, because they focused on him and not all the fuck ups that the LAPD had issued. And sad to say, I'm not fucking lying to you. I'm not a liar. I'm too much of an asshole and don't really give fuck much about anything else in this world but to tell you the truth. And if you want to keep believing that, then keep on believing that we're going to get out of debt. Keep on believing that we're not bombing people we shouldn't be bombing, and that our government cares for us as much as we think they do. And that's my opinion on the matter. That's right, man. And like Everlast said, all of them are suckers. If you wear a suit, you're a sucker. You know, if you're a suit, you have more blood on your hands than the fucking people you judge. And also, Charlie said that too. How funny how things come around full circle. You know? I mean, it's funny. We're in a day and age where everybody's fighting everybody. Nobody's united. Funny, that kind of happened during the times in Germany, didn't it? Right before everything kind of went to hell with them.
Right before the shit hit the fan.
And most of the German people didn't even know about those places. And our American government said, well, they'll get a crash course when they're digging the bodies. And they got everybody from down in the cities and everything to come up and help with cleanup during the crap they found. And yeah, he didn't tell him to hit her because he didn't know that she was there. And he said, if you're going to do it like this. My opinion on Eddie, I'll tell you what, man. I loved Eddie starting out. I loved Eddie Vedder starting out. I thought Pearl Jam's 10 was excellent. I thought it was it's still a timeless recording.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Once was such a great song. Black is a great song. Even Flow, even though they played it so much. Alive's a great song. But Howard Stern once said, in the beginning, Eddie Vedder was jumping around before he became really famous. And he was, oh, hello, hi, everybody. And he said, then a couple of years into his fame, he said, hello. How you doing? I'm Eddie Vedder. He's like, we liked you better when we didn't know who you were. And he became such a activist for shit. But the one thing I gotta give him, man, he was the guy that inducted the Ramones in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's cool.
And he also, on the final concert, sang the last song with the Ramones, which is Any Way You Want It, a song written by Dick Clark for Kiss. And they sang that on Alive 2. That song was on Alive 2. And that was... And that was the last thing. He didn't tell him to kill him. The girls were already planning on killing him. And the whole point behind that was because they wanted to get Bobby Boussalet out. But his dumb ass was driving around in Gary Hemmons' car with the registration in it after they found Gary Hemmons' body. So that was a given. And the girls wanted Bobby around. And when Charlie got out of prison, was it? Why does Kenny always want to shave? Please don't. How dare you? I just shaved mine last week. Motherfucker.
Leave it to Dave to say something inappropriate.
Well, yeah, of course. But I appreciate Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, to come back to the Vedder point, man, like the reason I think Vedder gets a lot of hate, and this goes for a lot of people actually. This is the thing I've observed about Clapton too. Eric Clapton gets this. It's like a lot of people copy Vedder in a kind of generic way. And,
Scott Stapp.
And it diffuses his influence, and rather than accentuates or adds to his influence, it kind of diffuses his influence a little bit. And I think it kind of makes what he does sound a little bit more generic, just because there's so many generic copies of it.
Oh, dude, Scott Stapp should have gotten sued.
Yeah, well,
that motherfucker, he's like, when I heard it, I was like, what, is Eddie Vedder singing for somebody else? When Creed first come out. I'm going to say something that's going to make a whole lot of people look at me and go, but here's what it is, man. Creed, without Scott Stapp, bitching. That band is excellent. That band is like a machine. They just got a putt singing for him.
Yeah. Oh, dude, same thing about Motley Crue right there. That's a perfect question. Dave just asked about what we think of Motley Crue. Man, I saw this video the other day. Have you seen this?
What's that?
It's a video of Vince with his tribute tour or whatever that he sings with. It's not Motley because they can't tour anymore.
Yeah, poor Mick, man.
But it's basically like him and like a bunch of hired guns playing Motley songs and a couple other things, I guess, and some covers and whatnot. But anyway, like he's doing "Kickstart My Heart," and it's hilarious. And somebody put subtitles to it by what it sounds like he's saying, and it really says like,
I think I saw.
It says, yeah, get high, high speed, what back.
That's how Rob Zombie sounded on the main stage at Ozfest that one year. He was like, running around up and down the stage, and he just, he's got his old dreads hanging, and all you could see was his big cowboy hat, these big dreads, and a little body underneath. He was so unproportioned, and he's going, yeah, 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 and he's, yeah. And I laughed my ass off. I was like, this is a goddamn nightmare. I was like, the first fucking time I see Rob Zombie, and he sucks.
Yeah.
You need a smaller stage, you fucking twat, you. And anyways, and, oh.
Is that the key?
No, the Bobo left.
The Bobo left, okay.
Yeah, the Bobo left. But, like, what I did was I watched, then years later, like a couple years later, he was touring for the Devil's Rejects. Like, he actually was on the second stage. And I think he headlined the second stage. And that was the first time I could get that close to John 5. That's the motherfucker you need to pay the money to see. If you're going to watch Rob Zombie, you need to pay money to see John 5. Rob Zombie is talentless without John 5. Unless that motherfucker put White Zombie back together, I'm not interested. I hate to be a poop, but, you know, there's only so many times you could say yeah and it be relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you know who needs to do a collab?
Who?
Rob Zombie and Lil Jon. This would be like,
Yeah. Okay. That's fucking brilliant, mate.
That'd be awesome, man.
That would be fucking brilliant.
I'm here for it.
I mean, that would be hilarious. Yeah, White Zombie is hilarious. It's just, they're hilariously awesome.
If Rob Zombie or Lil Jon happen to be watching this, please make that happen.
That would be like
just speaking it into existence.
Gummy fucking, what is it? The Flintstone vitamins. Gummy Flintstone vitamins. That'd be shit. That'd be the shit right there.
That would be.
Dude, I think I just urinate iron. Cause I just eat that shit like candy. As long as they put little sugary tips on the ends, I'd be alright. So it'd be like my fucking crybabies I ate.
Yeah.
God damn it. I miss my crybabies.
Miss them.
I love that shit. Yeah, Gummylicious up in this shit. But yeah, no, but yeah, like I said, man, I when it comes to Motley Crue, I got into them around the time when Theater of Pain was just coming out. Because Shout the Devil had been around. I saw the video for Looks That Kill and all that, and I was like, that's pretty cool. But I love the imagery of Theater of Pain. And that's the album everybody hated because they were all fucked up. But it was a pretty album. It was real fucking pretty.
Yeah.
And the production of it was nice, I thought. I mean, because I always loved that loud snap for the snare. And that's kind of what Motorhead's Orgasmatron had. Mm-hmm. And funny enough, fucking Lemmy said he hated the production on that.
Weird.
I was like, Jesus. The Doors' greatest hit. No. Guar's Scumdogs of the Universe was my first CD pick, or first CD purchase. That was the first CD I ever bought. Scumdogs of the Universe. First album I ever owned was Gene Simmons' solo album. The first tape I ever bought with my money was Number of the Beast. That one.
I'm trying to remember what my first CD was. I think the first CD I ever maybe received as a present, not bought with my own money, but like received as a present, was, you could probably give me a really funny look.
What?
It was Fastball, All the Pain Money Can Buy.
I can't hate on that.
Yeah. You know, but that's just it's a weird pick for someone like me. But honestly, I still love that band, and I love that album especially to this day. I really do.
Well, the first cassette tape that my dad got for me as a gift was Phil Collins' "Hello, I Must Be Going." That was the first one I Dad bought for me, and he bought it with my boombox. And my boombox was awesome. And my sister gave me my first album. That was Gene Simmons' solo album. And the first CD I ever got, it was a gift, was The Doors' Greatest Hits.
Nice.
And that's Jesus, man. I used to sit around and get fucking monked and just, I had this like light that I got at Spencer. This asshole owed me money. And gave me that light. And I had it at the top of my bed, or like beside my bed, and I had it on the ceiling. So I get all nice and monk, lay it back on my bed and watch the laser lights do their shit to Manzarek's keyboards. And just when Jim would say something, the green light would and shit. Oh, it was awesome. Awesome. Paula Abdul, hey, what, Forever Your Girl? Forever Your Girl was a pretty good fucking tape, man. And people are looking at me going, nah, dude, because y'all don't understand. My favorite male vocalist is Tom Jones. And my favorite female vocalist is Tina Turner. That bitch was the true, undisputed queen of heavy metal. Just her voice, dude, tell me, and you listen to Proud Mary and Nutbush City Limits. Oh, yeah! Disc jockey! God damn, I miss it. Damn, I miss disc jockey. I made them motherfuckers rich. Them and Budget. I always had my nose in there with my nose in albums. And I'm a Buddy Holly man. It's all because of Mom, though.
Yep.
That's why on February 3rd, I don't do shit. Don't play no music. Don't listen to music. Don't go around. I hide out. I'm real just, because that's truly the day the music died. Yes, it was. Canal was amazing. I miss that place. The shops at Canala. Feh. I wipe my ass on it. After I take a poop and not wipe. I get some butt butter on it. Fuck it. Goddamn my ass kiss it. Dude, I'm trying not to go full Boondocks up in here. Because, oh, dude, if I go Boondocks, I'd go Boondocks if On was on.
Yeah.
But they'd still flag it because we'd be saying things we shouldn't be saying.
Community standards.
Yeah.
We got we still got 10 people watching.
Hey, but yeah, man, that's great.
That's good.
And
Kids
it's
don't right away yet.
no, hell no. I'm surprised.
I mean, we're going deep, you know. I mean, does anybody else have any questions or anything? Just kind of.
Oh, I'm just talking shit.
Yeah, we're just talking shit, man. It's fun. I love it.
Oh, I do too.
I love this, man. This is a great format, actually.
I get tickled real easy.
Carol says, "Don't go Boondocks."
Nope, I ain't going Boondocks.
No, we can't go there.
No, I'm gonna leave Stink Meaner where he belongs. And old Uncle Ruckus.
Oh Lord.
I remember sitting in Pop Over 3 minutes. You know, in the Canal Mall, I remember trying to steal. Why do we need a rope? No, I remember going into Pied Piper and trying to steal the bust of Ludwig van.
Oh man.
And dude, I swear I wrapped my overcoat around it, reached down. Same way I tried to steal that one from Capitol and they caught me. God damn it. I mean, song to play that's not yours. Our cover.
Oh, cover, our favorite cover. Man, there's a lot. You know, I've got two I want to mention. One that I really want to bring back, which is called A Personality. I love.
You know, I did love the hell out of singing that. That was a great song to do. And you burned that fucking solo, man.
And there's one that we never really got rid of that I just want to, you know, kind of work back up. And we were talking about the Ramones. The title of today is...
yeah, man. It's the
Attack of the Ramones. So, you know, I always love playing I Believe in Miracles. It just puts a smile on my face. It's one of my more favorite Ramones songs. It really makes me think of you. Every time I hear that song, it makes me think of you.
Well, I'll tell you what, and just funny enough, just earlier this evening, I was listening to Brain Drain. That tape, I got it at Tronics in Canal City. And I was so happy because I was like, wow! And I got so tickled. And I played that tape. I still have it somewhere. That tape, I wore it the fuck out, man. Brain Drain was just such a great album. And it was technically the first album to have CJ on it because CJ played a couple of songs, but Dee Dee didn't want them to do that. And Dee Dee wanted to get the credit for the album. Thank fuck CJ didn't go Richie on it. Richie Ramone like drove off with their publicist and all the T-shirt money and never came back.
Absconded with band funds.
Yeah, so you know he was like stricken from hearts and memories forever in the house of the Ramones. But there are Ramones fans that follow him. I like in some of the groups that I'm on, they post pictures and stuff. Oh, we got to meet Richie, and I'm like, wow, do they not know what happened? You know, they didn't even write a fuck you song about him. They were so pissed off. You know, and I'll tell you what. Here's something else I'm gonna add since we're on the kick of the Ramones. Lemmy Kilmister. Rest in peace, my good man, Lem. Lemmy watched the Beatles' first shows. He roadied for Jimi Hendrix. Gave Keith Emerson the daggers he used to stab his keyboards with. This man partied with, fucked, saw, played with, and hung out with just about everybody on earth. He was kind of like the Genghis Khan of rock and roll.
Yeah.
You know, like 3/4 of the population is infected with Lemmy's semen somewhere, or his DNA at least. And, you know, I'm fortunate enough to say I got a direct deposit of it. Got to meet that motherfucker for my 19th, and he was wonderful. And one of the things I did get to thank that romantic fool for was playing the song Ramones. I shit you not. On the 1916 album, he wrote a song in the fashion of the Ramones and called it Ramones. And so help me fuck, on a Motorhead cover album, that song was on there. And I wanted to kind of jump through the grid and find the fucker that digitally footprinted that and slap him and go, fool! He wrote that! You know, he wrote that shit. And funny enough, when they did it live at that final show, Lemmy got up there and sang it with him. But was halfway, like he got there during the second verse, which is almost the end of the song. Because, you know, they didn't write epics. They wrote the 2-minute blitz.
Yep.
Like that A&R guy went to throw him out. And he said, but by the time I got up to open the door to show him the door, they were done with their song and staring at me going, what'd you think? So, if you're that badass that Lemmy never wrote a song about anybody, but he wrote a song about you, respect. Respect. And that's just how it is, man. I mean, that's one of the reasons why they're so important to me. And they're polar opposites to everything else I like musically. I mean, I do love the fuck out of the Misfits, but what a fucked up family that is. You know, what a fucked up family that is. And I appreciate the Misfits, and I'm very happy that they're touring. But goddamn, have you seen the prices for those tickets?
God, it's so stupid.
You could buy a car with one of them.
It's so stupid.
You know? But hey,
what are you gonna do?
Cash it in, folks.
It's a limited resource. I mean, I guess that's how it's gonna be.
I knew.
They can command those prices. They're gonna sell at those prices.
Well, Bam Margera for like on Revolver, in an issue of Revolver. This is about the time when I stopped reading rock mags. When it became $15 a book.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. This shit, the internet, man, it killed print, just like Egon Spengler predicted in Ghostbusters. I read. Do you read? Print is dead.
True.
It's true now, but In this one issue, Bam had Slayer play his birthday bash, and he was saying that he said he had one of two choices. If he could get the original Misfits together, which he knew it would never happen, the only other choice would have been Slayer. And
They surveyed the prisoners from Miller.
nice! Good for you. Good for you. I think I remember you telling me about that.
We're talking about Richard Ramirez movies already.
Yeah. Wow. How great. But there's just, yeah, man, I mean, there's so many great things that come from it. And there's so many great things that stemmed from the Ramones. I mean, you know, there's so many bands that I'm happy we have, and there's a few bands that I kind of wish they didn't influence. But you'll get that. You know, you'll get some turds along with some Tootsie Rolls.
Turns along with the Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah, you never know which one you're gonna get, but you might as well just put them in your mouth and bite down. Hopefully you get more Tootsies than turds.
Man, that is the nature of life, and the best we can hope for is to get more Tootsies than turds.
Turds, yeah.
Yes.
And
That
try
is
not to
my
get your
new
dick
motto.
caught in your zipper.
Don't get your dick in your zipper.
That might be a new one.
I hope you get more Tootsies than turds. That's gonna be the new send off.
Well, U2 was very influenced by the Ramones. The Edge even said he said when I saw Johnny play, he knew that he could write songs on a guitar. And it was so funny because Johnny was a real Republican. He was real conservative, very right wing.
Right.
He would have been very much a Trump follower, and Joey would have been a left wing. You know, Joey would have went the other direction.
Joey would have been a Bernie bro.
He probably would have been a Bernie bro. He probably would have been. And because Joey just believed in a better world. He believed in a better world for him and you. Yeah.
Yep.
You know, he believed in that, man. And Joey believed in all of us.
Hi, Billy.
He believed in so much. And that big heart inside of that small, tall, chickeny, crow-like frame. You know, he had such a beautiful heart.
God love him, man.
Oh yeah, man. And the motherfucker created such an impact on music.
Like I was talking about earlier, man, he just gave hope to like the nerdy guys like me, you know, like he's that guy. He's the likable, kind of nerdy, kind of like awkward dude.
Well, Arturo Vega, the guy that created the Seal, like on this Joey Ramone documentary, Arturo Vega was saying, he said, we went to this big mixer, this big benefit mixer. You know, people were getting all together, all these famous people. He said, nobody wanted to talk to nobody. Everybody were in their corners. Everybody was in their little cliques. Nobody just didn't want to talk to or be around anybody. He said, Joey walks in, and he said, the place just melts. Like, everybody wanted to say hi to Joey. Everybody wanted to shake his hand. Everybody wanted to talk to him. You know, everybody said his name, and they said it way out loud. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that is a testament for how beautiful of a person that motherfucker was.
So Mike's asking about our songwriting process. He says, what inspires it, and how do you write lyrics first, or do you come up with a riff melody first and then add lyrics? Well, that's weird because it kind of can go either way.
Mm-hmm.
Normally what happens is a lot of times Lee will just write in his notebook on his own time. Whenever something comes into his head, he has just a notebook just full of stuff. And I have the iPhone, you know. So what I do is, I'll be practicing, I'll be jamming or whatever, and I'll throw down something I like, and I'll just grab the iPhone, and I'll either just call up a voice memo, or I did download this app called Amplitude. I don't know if you can see it there. I don't really use it much anymore, but it's a cool little sketchbook, and I just jam. I come up with a riff. I'll save it on my phone, and it'll just kind of go in a file somewhere. And also, I have the notes program on the iPhone. I do the same thing with song lyrics. And often, what happens is like I'll come to Lee with half of something, or Lee will come to me with just a lyric, and we'll find something that wants the other person's part, basically.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'll come with a riff, and he'll have a lyric in the notebook already that is like that'll fit this if I change it around just a little bit, or he'll have a lyric that he'll show me and I'll like, and I'll write a riff to it. Sometimes it doesn't normally work that way. It's normally the other way around, and often I will bring a complete song front to back to the band and
Mhm.
say I wrote this. Let's work it up, and that's only happened. I would say maybe that's happened 3 or 4 times in the band's history. That
I'd
just
say
come
if I
with
can
the end of the
remember,
song.
I'd say it's been three times.
Nothing Me,
Nothing me, Idiocracy.
Blood Moon, Idiocracy, the new one that we're working on, My Parting Gift.
Oh yeah, my parting gift. Okay, well,
that
but
happened that
three
way.
that are in the can.
So three that are out there on that are on the record, and basically one that's coming down the pike so far.
And to answer Billy's question, I with my inspiration, years ago, I used to be inspired the same way Steve Harris of Iron Maiden and Scott Ian of Anthrax and Dee Dee Ramone were inspired.
Yeah.
I was inspired by culture. I was inspired by comic book characters, by TV shows, by Stephen King books, by a comic book story I wrote, a horror film I'd seen. And to quote the immortal words of Burgess Meredith's character Ammon in Clash of the Titans, he actually said he'd written a poem about Medusa once, and he said, and this is where the quote goes, I was quite fond of tragedy in my youth until life and experience taught me that life could be quite tragic without me having to write about it. Erase the word tragedy or tragic and put horror instead of it.
Yeah.
And I used to be so inspired by horror films. I loved horror films. And then as I got older, some of the fucked up, crazy, awful, despicable, unspeakable shit that I've seen. Shit that turns a man into a monster. Shit that I should have looked away from, but couldn't. And he reads music. I can't read a goddamn note. But I can arrange a motherfucking song for you.
Yeah.
I can put breakdowns in songs, because very much like clothing designers, like people who sell a product, I want to play music I want to hear.
Lee will sing things to us. Like he'll if he wants Eric to do a drum part, he'll just go, no, it's a Tom thing. It's he'll sing it, and Eric will get it. Eric will play it and play it just like he sang it. And he'll do it to me sometimes. He'll be like, no, it's more like da 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 da.
And then I'll look at everybody and go, now fucking stop. Just fucking stop. 2, 3, 4.
He's the conductor. He's the conductor.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the arrangements of how songs are, because like a lot of the times, like Kenny, I'll bring complete song lyrics in and have a riff in my head. and be like, da, 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 and that's happened a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
But some of our best songs, and I love his songs, so I'm not trying to take away from any of them, but some of my favorites are the ones we all kind of write together. Like, he'll be over there just noodling about.
Yeah.
And he'll just be, what the fuck is that? And he'll shrug, and I'll keep that going. Eric, go a whole another measure, and then
that's how Piper came about.
Yeah, yeah, and if we're on a streak, like for the Zealots recordings, what we did right after we recorded the Harrah album and did the CD release, so I said, okay, next fucking chapter. While we're playing shows promoting this album, let's cut and let's work on a new song. Any ideas? And King, nope. Well then, goddamn it, let's come up with some. And we just started shitting songs out.
Yeah.
And every practice we were shitting 2 songs out. And Circling Down the Drain was from some of those sessions.
Yeah, Circling Down the Drain happened
was
during
the first or second?
It was I think the second song we worked on. But what happened is, you said that thing about like, oh, do you got anything new? And I'm like, well, not really, but like I've been noodling. And so I went home and I just started like recording everything I jammed on, and that was one of the things that I recorded. And I wish I still had it. I think I might have emailed it to myself. But I actually had the iPhone, like the recording, the source recording of it, and I could tell you the exact date I came up with it if I could find it.
Was it me that wrote Zealots? Did I come up with that riff?
You came up with the words.
Yeah, no, I came up with the words.
But I came up with the riff about the same time as the Circling Down the Drain riff, because it was similar, and I thought it was going to be the same song.
Yeah, that's
or
it.
No, I thought it was going to be the same song. Not Circling Down the Drain. I thought it was going to be the same song as The God You Serve.
Yeah,
but The God You Serve is significantly faster, and I felt like I couldn't make them work together, so I just broke Zealots down and made it its own thing, and I really like that. So that's one of my favorite songs that we got coming down the pike.
Well, and
I really want to get your vocal on it.
Your fucking solo on that just burns.
I want to get your vocal on
Oh
it.
Yeah, yeah. Because to answer and Night Girl, to answer Billy's question a little bit even more thoroughly. Now, what I write about what really chafes my ass. What pisses me off, the type of fucking people that piss me off, the type of fucking crap that pisses me off. It's now my way to get things out before I fucking blow up.
Complaints and grievances.
Oh, yeah. It's very much that.
To quote the man.
And, I mean, and because there's a lot of songs that have a lot of the same things. It's almost a fucking concept album.
Yeah.
If there was a couple of more things and if we could structure it, it could almost be a concept album.
The way I see it is not really so much as a concept album, but it's kind of like we're kind of taking a little bit the temperature of what's going on right now. Not just with us, but externally as well. Like a lot of it is cultural critique. The God You Serve, definitely.
Oh, it's social commentary all the way.
Because we take shots at the keyboard warriors, the social justice people, the thoughts and prayers people. We take a lot of shots at them. We take a lot of shots at televangelists and politicians and anybody that goes on TV and bloviates and says to solve your problems and does nothing.
Yeah, anybody who wears a suit, anybody who has my best interests in order, but doesn't have a fucking problem paying their bills like I do. Basically anybody who thinks they have the answers to everything, when most of the time, they're the fucking problem.
Either that or their answers are completely empty.
Yeah,
Thoughts and
empty.
prayers.
Yeah,
Thoughts and prayers.
with just no value at all.
Yeah.
At all.
I
And,
don't mind to take a chunk out of that. I really like that you did that, and that's and Zealots is almost that way, but Zealots is more just a swipe at the entire species and what we've done to the planet and like where we're going as a culture. The fact that our priorities are fucked up, the fact that we're focused on material things, focused on getting ahead of each other and not helping each other out, that sort of thing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that. Well, I mean, but then there's other stuff on there. Test of Time, that's a little bit more autobiographical, a little bit more personal. That's pretty cool.
yeah.
We throw different things in there. My Parting Gift is basically just a breakup song, a very angry one, but a breakup song.
Well, and it's. I'll tell you what else. One of the things I love about you is the songs that we write together. We can almost feel what each other is thinking and feeling.
Yeah.
And that's why we perform them with such force and verve and such deep rooted pain. And Parting Gift is very much, it's the song, it's Slow Deep and Hard by Typo Negative. It's Significant Other by Limp Bizkit. It's the first Godsmack album. It's all these fuck you bitch album songs. And I know that's probably not very couth, but hey, there's plenty of females that write fuck you dick songs.
I mean, you have to do it sometimes.
Right, man.
You're in that headspace.
It's cathartic.
And you do it, you feel better.
It's absolutely cathartic.
You don't go smack a person around. You don't go start a bunch of rumors or any drama. You write an angry song, you move on.
Exactly.
And you got a snapshot of how you were feeling in that moment.
Well, I mean, there's quite a few musicians in this town and out of this town now who wrote whole albums about how much they hated me. So, hey, baby, as long as you're getting it out.
Whatever inspires you.
Yeah, man, whatever inspires you. And there was a lot of times when they play them, I'd be standing right there in the front and smiling and singing along with them.
That's pretty hilarious.
Because I don't give a fuck. I don't.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what super slender?
You don't like me? Oh, I'm heartbroken.
Man, I wasn't put on this. If I lived off people's love, I'd been dead years ago. I mean, that's just how it is. And I just wash my balls of it. That's well, or as the ghetto preacher would say, "Goddamn my ass kiss it." And to answer your question, Mike, there is YouTube, there is iTunes,
Yep.
there is Google Play, there is Spotify. If you have a phone app that you can listen to music, you can listen to Harrah's debut album.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
And Chris Woodall did that fucking album covering. Damn, it's sexy.
Beautiful work.
Oh yeah, it's
It's my phone background, so my lock.
yeah, it is. It's sexy as fuck. Look at that.
I don't know if you can see it. You can sort of see it.
Yeah, the ghost, man. He's already.
I love it.
He's the mascot for us.
So yeah, you can find us, especially Spotify. It's very easy. Just type our name in, HARRAH. It's a palindrome. Same forwards as backwards. You can do it on Spotify, Apple Music. You can do it on Amazon. If you got Amazon Prime, you can listen to us whenever you want. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on.
Holy shit, we're on that too.
Yeah, we're on. I don't think we're on Pandora. I think that's the only major streaming platform that we're not on, as far as I know. We may have been added to Pandora, but I've not checked for a while.
Yeah, I haven't checked out.
But if you use literally almost anything else, you can find us. If you search on YouTube, though, you're probably going to have to put one of the song names in. Because if not, you're going to find a bunch of shit for, like, Harrah's Casinos and stuff like that. Or, I don't know, Harrah High School or some mess like that. So definitely, like, yeah, that's what you find when you type us in the Pandora as well. So
Let's just see. My girlfriend on demand.
But definitely, if you look for us on YouTube, type in like Pay the Piper, type in Idiocracy, type in
I wish that.
Just a couple country boys, yeah. We're definitely country boys. I am anyway. Lee's a little more city than me. I'm a hillbilly. You can hear it in my way I talk.
Oh, that's the Pretty Reckless.
The Pretty
Sorry.
Reckless.
Yes.
Don't flag our video for copyright infringement.
Yeah, sorry,
whoever you
folks.
are.
I was trying to find the shit.
Doesn't look like we're yet on.
Pay the
Yeah, we're not on
the
Pandora yet.
Papa. Let me see.
So look us up on Spotify. Look
You
us up
made
on
me
YouTube.
die.
Look us up on.
That's not
Follow us
good.
on Facebook. We'll advertise anywhere we are playing, anywhere you can find our music, anywhere you can see our live videos.
You make me wanna fry. It's like that time I got fucking drunk. And I was at Watt Powell Park. I was drunk off my ass. It was 2 for Tuesday, and I drank like 4 ice houses, man, in big ass goddamn cups like that big. And I am shit faced. And I go walking over to my bass player at the time, and welcome to I was about to say, Welcome to the Jungle starts playing through the speakers. And I start doing the Axl Rose. And I start like sliding over to Tommy, and I'm like, "Welcome to McDonald's. Could I take your order, please?" And I did this whole version of Welcome to McDonald's.
Lord.
And then I slid over to Tommy. I'm like, "You know where you are? You at McDonald's, baby. You want some fries?" And people were getting up and leaving the section. And when they left, I was like, we got closer
the exit
seats.
theory.
Yeah, we got the
So she got the exit theory.
I got
Billy's Canadian.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Hey. Hey, who's your hockey team, man? Do you watch hockey? You got to be a hockey fan. Because I know there's one hockey person out there. And sorry about the Pens. But hey, they're going to do all right. They should do all right. They just got to get past those goddamn Islanders. But if you're a hockey fan, speak up. Because I love talking hockey, but I'll try not to talk too much. Oh, you're not a sports fan. Okay. Hey, to each his own, man. You're talking to a moron that's wearing 2 9s on the back of this jersey and 2 9s tattooed on his back. No shit. I'm all about the great one. And I just, while I was sick.
Ooh, good one.
Goodness.
Yes.
Not bad manners, just good food. But like I was on my back. I was kind of sick earlier this year, and I started watching the Molson 100 Best Hockey Players. Oh, okay. So you're in are you in Vancouver? Right on, BC. But I ended up watching all the best 100 players. And then I watched the 10-hour special of like the history of hockey. Like I needed to know all that shit already. Because there's times where I've like there's been times like at the bar when I'd be playing or something. And I'd tell someone something and they'd try to correct me and I'd go, "Bullshit! You're wrong!" But of course they weren't. It's just I hadn't watched it in a while. And, oh, you're far away as fuck, huh? The dude, I don't know how you handle the cold, and the only trade-off for the cold is the drop of the puck. That's the only thing I could see myself being in Canada for.
It's like Seattle. It rains all the damn
Oh,
time.
yeah, well, it's right a bit above it, yeah.
pretty
Oh.
much. Same climate, basically.
Oh.
Pacific Northwest.
Oh,
in general,
yeah, fuck the... Man, the Northwest, I wasn't a big fan of Washington myself, personally.
Really?
Yeah,
I've never been up there.
Oh, you ain't missing much. You ain't missing much. People there are weird, They're like,
We're fucking weird. What are you talking about?
nah, dude. They're like strangely nice. They're like Stepford wife nice.
I'm in the warmest part of Canada.
Oh shit, and they call us Vancouver.
Vancouver, yes.
Oh God, you poor thing. So you wear galoshes more than you wear tennis shoes, you poor bastard. Jesus.
I love it here.
I'm a desert man. I love the fucking desert. Like, I'm gonna gross you fucks out. I'm gonna gross you all the fuck out. The first time I went out west, like my friend Barbara, my sister from another mister, she was the one that designed the Harrah logo. Like, she and I sat and we beat the shit out of each other mentally and verbally till we came up with that logo. And she busted her ass on it. And so many people through the band's career, well, I can give you a better logo. I don't want a better fucking logo. Don't touch the fucking logo.
Do not fuck
Like,
with Do not
touch the trim. But, you know, hey, look at that logo right there. Anybody, I bet you
absolutely
Steve Harris would turn around and walk away from you if you told him, you'd be a great band if you changed your logo. He'd just look at you and me.
Absolutely unfucked around with since what, like 1978?
Completely
unadulterated.
Yeah,
original.
and just and completely unfucking just incorruptible. He just it has become a staple, and just as much as Ed has, you know. But you know, she was living out in Phoenix for the while. And I caught a plane out there to go visit or go see her and go to the Yucca Valley to see the Donnas. And I know, man, jealous. My goddamn, that she is fine as Italian wine. But anyways, we go out there, and when we go out there, like, I leave Sky Harbor Airport, go out the side door, and I start feeling sick. My chest starts, like, knotting up. My lungs are tightening up. And I'm like, holy fuck. I feel like I'm about to give birth, is what I feel. And I start hacking and hawking. And thank fuck I was lubricated enough. I mean, I don't know. But I started hacking and hawking and coughing. And it began to unhook itself from me. The only thing I can think of was it was a fucking parasite, a lamprey inside of me. That's the only thing I can think of. Because when it came out of my mouth, and it came out of my nose.
This is all the toxins.
And it connected and then splattered on the ground. And it was brown, it was yellow, it was orange, it had some drops of red and deeper brown in it. And then, goddamn, let me tell you what, I was smelling unscented plants. I could smell Barber 2 blocks down the street from the perfume she used to use. And, or whatever she used. I don't remember. I said, I could smell you. And she's like, well, that's not very appropriate. And I told her, I said, no, I didn't mean that you stunk, motherfucker. It just means I could smell you. Oh my God. I didn't know trees had this kind of smell. Because you don't realize how fucking chemically altered you are in this state.
Yeah.
You are chemically altered. But don't smoke around me. Motherfucker, you smoke around me, I'll bust your ass. I like these chemicals. God bless West Virginia. Not theirs.
The Chemical Valley, baby.
Tutors. Fucking. I'm gonna be quiet.
Tutors.
I'm gonna be quiet.
Let's go!
Oh no! Dude, I'm gonna piss people off.
We are
assholes.
Oh damn!
Let's go to Tutors.
We just had the entire fucking state pissed off at us right now.
Good. They don't like us anyways.
Fuck them all.
What are you gonna do? Not come and see my shows? What are you gonna do? Not buy our music? What are you gonna do? Fucking not hire me? Too late! Motherfuckers. I swear to God.
Oh, Lord.
Jesus fucking shit stick turd jiggles on fucking 3 o'clock when the bells ring. Ah!
I hope you get more tootsies and turds.
Now, you know what? When you buy turds and tootsies here, it's
the same thing.
you're getting mouthfuls of turds, sir. Just dip them in fucking Prego. It's good for you.
It's all in there.
Fill it full of ketchup, dude.
It's in there.
Yeah, I've learned. Just fill when you eating your shit, squirt lots of ketchup on it. It makes it go down easier. That
a spoonful of
and a cool drink.
Oh,
would you
God.
eat the moon if it was made of spare ribs? I would. I'd wash it down with a cool Budweiser.
Oh, my
Hi! This is Harry Carey.
Oh my God. Oh, my face hurts.
Oh my God, I feel like I'm tripping acid.
Man, we've been on here for 2 fucking hours.
It's great.
It's beautiful.
Ain't nobody bitching.
Nobody's bitching.
And also, I did want to take a moment to thank everybody who went back and watched our previous podcast when we weren't on. I mean, hell, it got ridiculous hits.
Yeah, we had like almost 700 views on it when it all said and done. Hopefully this one does just as well. And we're trying to reach new people. So if you want to share it, if you want to tell your friends about it.
Yeah.
We're trying to do it, I'm hoping every week or so,
yeah,
whenever we can.
Yeah, what I would love to do is do 1 or 2 a week if permitting.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time, you and I, we're both busier than a fucking one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest.
Oh, Lord.
Man, see, goddamn it, Corey, you ruined that one for me.
You ruined it.
Motherfucker.
I always say I'm busier than a 3-legged cat in the litter box.
That's pretty fucked up.
It is really fucked up, but we used to have a 3-legged cat.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we did. When we lived with Cat, we had a 3-legged cat. Her name was Sylvie. Remember?
Oh, yeah! That's right.
And she would try to cover a poo with the fucking stump. She'd sit there and
Oh my God. Oh my God, that's so wrong.
she'd be in the litter box like this, and she'd shit, and then she'd go.
Oh, that poor thing. Let me tell you what Bobo did one day. I was in there taking a shit, reading my books. And I'm just reading my comic books and just having a good old time, because that's the one place on earth I couldn't be bothered unless Mom came running in. Are you bothered? Are you bothered? And I'd fall backwards in the fucking toilet, shit in my ass. Good times. And I'm sitting here using the bathroom. And as I'm reading and enjoying my book, all of a sudden I look up and Bobo's airborne. Like, he's going like this. Like, he's got hang time. He got all 4 of his legs kicking. He looked like Christopher Walken floating in the Fatboy Slim video. He's up there just a-kicking it. He just like this and looks at me in slow motion as if to say, "Oh, hello, slave." The Bobo says hello. And then jumps into the sink and and I'm like, what in the hell is wrong with you? He got a little bit of pee on the inside of his paw.
Oh.
Just a little bit of pee.
Freaked him out.
And the little fucker is such a clean freak, he can't be around his own urine.
Just fastidious.
And I was like, what in the fuck? I looked at him, I said, "Are you shit? Get out of here!" And he went and taken off out of the room. Oh yeah, dude, he complains like a motherfucker. He, like, I think a little piece of my mom's soul ended up in him and the Keek, because they're both assholes like her. And like, when I'll tell him, "Bobo, get out of here," and he takes off running. Like, he'll get a real deep kind of growlish and then take off running. Oh, it's the funniest fucking thing you'll ever hear. And I'm just like, dude, in all my years, I've never seen a cat do shit like that. Like, he is such a fucking clean freak. And you saying a three-legged cat in a litter box, I am, even though, yeah, he's still got all four of his paws, I just, in my mind's eye, I saw him in slow motion going up and just, you know, looking at me like this as he's flying. And I'm like, it was I mean, like, he was just right in the litter box and just, and I don't know how yeah, fuck it. I mean, Jesus built my hot rod. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, the goddamn cat, he kills me.
I love him.
I love him too, but oh my god, and such a
He's
diva.
becoming an internet star.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody on here knows him.
Well, like, what's funny is, when I used to take pictures of him and put them on my Facebook, he'd get hundreds of likes.
Oh, dude, yeah.
He'd get, probably Harrah's most popular and famous picture is of him all sprawled out with his paw on the Harrah CD. And he looks so convincing. It's just like he's just, "So, slave, you wish to use me and my image to sell your product. I suppose I can provide you a moment of my time. I mean, it's only fitting because I do come in and watch you perform. I do sit on your drummer's drums before he starts. And I do like to get on Kenny's guitar case. Yeah, little fucker like Kenny will have his case open, and Bobo will just walk up, put his paw on it, close it, and get on top of it. And then look at everybody.
This is mine now.
And go, "If I fits, I sits." Oh, dude, he is, and you're right. He's getting to be a fucking superstar.
I love it.
And I love it too. He deserves it, man. He is such a wonderful little guy. And what I love about him most is he doesn't act like your typical cat. No, he is so far from your typical cat.
It's very chill.
And like other cats, when you hold them and love on them, they get the wiggles.
They freak out.
He will sit in my arms like that, unless it's getting in bed. He doesn't like me to get in bed with him like that, because he likes to be in control of being around the bed.
Yeah.
But I can carry him through the house like this, like a baby, and he just curls up and just puts his little head down and just tucks his little legs in and just, "Yes, slave, the Bobo is fine." And I swear he has an English accent. I swear he does, little fucker.
That's great.
He does, man. I mean, the only thing he needs is a monocle, a cigarette holder, and a little top hat.
We'll draw him like that.
Oh, dude, I've been thinking about
He's
it.
gonna be our mascot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
Besides the ghost, he's gonna be the other mascot.
yeah, dude, Bobo and the ghost. Like, Bobo would be showing up like someplace and, you know, being all chill and strutty. You know, we'll have to put him in on a less busy album cover than what Zealots is going to be.
Yeah, Celis is gonna be
Oh,
packed.
yeah, the album is going to be excellent, and the cover is going to be just as excellent. It's going to be really dangerous. It's going to be really fucking dangerous, and it's the sign of the times. It's what everyone has. It's what everyone will expect to see it like this, and people are going to just be like, "Wow," because I mean, like, when it comes to heavy metal, people aren't doing the good, awesome album covers anymore. You know, and like you said, it's not dangerous anymore. It's not scary anymore. You know, people aren't coming out swinging anymore. You know, people aren't taking a chance anymore.
We're just trying to be honest. We're gonna be brutally fucking honest on this one.
And the album is going to be dangerous. I, I'm.
I can't wait.
We've got lots to say, and I used to care about what people thought. And the reason why I cared about what they thought is because, you know, I didn't want to upset or ruffle feathers or upset people because I didn't want them to not support and be a part of what I'm doing. Well, a lot of people have proven to me that they don't want to be a part of it. So fuck you. And fuck it. I'm going to do what I want to do. I want to write the music that I want to write. I want to play the song. I want to write songs that I want to hear. I want to be listening to shit in my car and having people come up and go, God damn, dude, that's banging. What is that? You know? Oh, yeah? Here, give me your mobile and then put shit in. Pay the however much for the album, motherfucker. You won't be wrong. You know, if you like that, you like everything else. And kind of go back underground that way.
Yep.
Because there's only what? 2 places in Charleston to play now? 2 or 3 to play if you're playing this kind of music.
Yep.
It's all gone.
Right now, this is where it's at.
Yeah.
You gotta be online. You gotta have the presence. You know, and we're reaching out. We're talking to people that are outside of the state. You know, we're talking to people that maybe could hear us in another context if we get big enough to tour, and I'd love to do that. It's just all about creating some opportunities for us, and that's what this is about. I love being able to engage with people. I mean, we've had lots of people watching tonight, lots of good questions, lots of feedback.
Exactly.
I'm really enjoying it, man. I think this is going to be a lot of fun for us. I want to keep doing it.
Well, and like, you know, Kevin Smith said it best to Joe Rogan on their podcast. Like when Kevin Smith was on there recently, he was like, you know, he said, people don't realize how important podcasts are now. And he's like, and if someone says that they can't do it, have them take a walk in your warehouse, in your operations. He's like, where the cars are, where the full-sized wolf statue from the American Werewolf in London is, the flamethrower Musk gave him, the fucking Mike Tyson smoke box that Mike Tyson gave him. You know, I mean, his bows, the place where he can shoot bows and shoot arrows. All this shit you can do in Joe Rogan's place. And he's like, you know, you did this with your mouth. And if you don't think that your mouth isn't powerful, come around and take a look at this. You know, podcasts are an important thing. And even if you're just talking shit, if I may quote Mr. David Murray Brocky, it's not that I got my ass kicked, though it did hurt, I'll admit, but it's more like I am a huge asshole, constantly talking belligerent shit. That's kind of me. It's kind of you.
A little bit.
We're belligerent assholes. And I think a lot of it around here is people don't want to support things because it takes effort.
Well, and I think people look at it.
And what people do try, they spearhead it, they take it, but then there's not a lot of people that get to stand behind them.
People look at it like it's a slice of a pie, like it's a finite thing, and it's not really. Like, the more people, like, you know, if I like another band, then, you know, I'm going to bring people to their show, and
Yeah.
they're going to have a bigger show. And then they're going to be more likely to come to my shows. They're going to bring people to my shows. My shows are going to get bigger. We're going to find other bands to play with, and they're going to go. You see what I mean? Like, if you do it that way, it's not dividing up the pie. It's growing.
Right,
Growing the
right.
scene, you know, and people don't really want to do that, but you know, like that's what it takes, and I'm guilty of it, man. Like, you know what, man, if I've had a hard week, I get lazy. I don't want to go out. I don't want to do things. But sometimes, you know, like it's minimal shit like this. It's just like engaging with people. It's talking to people. Like, you know, this is a cool thing that we're doing. It doesn't take that much effort. It's just me
No.
and you getting together in a room, and we're talking to people, and we're holding court here, and you know, we're
And
showing
people
we're
can
still
watch
alive.
it later on too.
People can watch later on. People can pop in while it's going on. It's fun. You know, like it's a good medium. You know, before I would bitch because Facebook, you know, keeps people away from shows, and that may be true. But you know, like if they're not coming to shows, we come to them here.
Well, and here's the thing about that though. If if it wasn't Facebook, it'd be their Xboxes.
It'd be something.
If it wasn't their Xboxes, it'd be their PlayStation 4s or whatever. It would be something else keeping them from getting up and making something happen around their scene.
But you know, if we're reaching out to people like this, if we are personally engaging with people, they're going to want to come out to make a personal connection. It's a little different.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's an event. It's a thing. It's an excuse to socialize with people. We come on here, man. Like I talk to people that when we went live on here that I hadn't talked to in 8 years, 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's great.
Well, it's like Joey Diaz did that one, or like he was at that bus stop, and he said that woman from Buffalo was holding her baby, and she's about to go get on the bus, and just walks up and looks at him and goes, "Blue cheeks with wings, or go fuck your mother." And she just nods and goes, "Good shit," and just turns around, and walks off, and he just turns around and he's like, he said she didn't say anything else. Nothing else need to be said.
Blue cheese with wings that go fuck.
Yeah, man. And I just horse laughed. I thought that was great. And you know, and that was somebody who had a few hours to kill. There's some people who can't get out of their house. There's some people who don't want to get out of their house. There's some people that just don't really have much to go on or do. And when they get involved and sit around and listen to people do stuff, I mean, it can be inspiring.
Yeah.
And it can be inspiring to a lot of people to do stuff. And all we want to do is inspire people to be inspired like we were.
Yeah, I mean, like, it doesn't take much, man. Just get up off your ass and do something. Like I said, I've got all this, you know, cheap hardware that I got, you know, secondhand, most of it. I got, you know, free software or very, very cheap software, you know. Like, if you want to get into stuff like that, get a hold of me and I'll point you in the right direction, man. There's YouTube tutorials. There's all kinds of stuff, man. It's all about trying to hold yourself accountable to doing the thing you want to do. Like, I started doing music and started producing music at home because I really, really wanted to, and it consumed my life very quickly. You know, it's no more. I mean, I still do the, you know, the YouTube or Netflix binges occasionally, but like honestly, man, it's pretty much, it's just replaced all the YouTube and porn binges. It really has. It's given me something to do. It's a thing. And you know, like it takes me out of the depression. Like, you know, I was depressed.
Yeah.
I was very, very depressed for months.
I'm still there. I think I'm a bit depressed myself still.
But we're doing things.
Yeah,
and
man.
Doing things gives you something to look forward to, and it makes you do a thing even when you don't feel like doing the thing, and that's part of getting out of depression, man. Like, I would make myself go to like shows and socialize, and sometimes it was hard. Sometimes it was really hard. I had to have friends force me to. Like, if a friend was going, that, you know, they'd have to text me from the show and say, "Hey, I'm here. Like, you gotta come down." I mean, I live 10 minutes from downtown. I've got no excuse, honestly. I don't.
Well, you do because we went through a lot of shit.
We did.
We went through a lot of shit and a lot of shit that wasn't our fault.
But you know what, man? Like, I just want to get past it. I want to get back into it. And it's not even just here, man. Like, I like being in the scene here, but I'd really like to just like to get out and travel more, go
Get
to
the
different
fuck
shows.
out of here.
I'd like to go
You
to
know?
shows out of town. I'd like to network with people. You know, we just need to start doing the thing, and this is part of doing the thing. You know, the Facebook Live episodes are going really well. I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think people are watching. You know, I mean, we still even got some people hanging in, and we've been on here for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, and but it's great because again, it's something. We're doing something for fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, it's almost like the same way that I got inspired to do Super War with the toys and shit.
That was hilarious.
You know, yeah, man, and I
that.
keep it up, and people will still visit it, and it still gets likes. I still get comments about it, and people still ask me, when am I going to do it again? And truthfully, man, I could have fucking done it in the period of time that I've been in, but a lot of my shit's buried right now.
Yeah.
And what I'd like to do eventually is like somehow clean all this shit out and get like a tally of all my army men and my zombies. Can you imagine that?
It's got to be ridiculous.
Oh, dude, and I've only been collecting zombies, like zombies and army men, that I've got almost as many army men as I had when I was a kid. Like, I had one of those real long bread bags that was full, and it was nothing but fucking army men in them, and I gave them to my uncle, and my other uncle took them, and I know the motherfucker threw them out, man. There's tens of thousands of them in there. And now I've got so many fucking zombies. I've got them through the eras. I want to get Crimean War ones so I can have British Redcoats, the trooper.
Yeah.
You know, the whole Charge of the Light Brigade and all that shit. And I'd love to make a little Eddie Army figure, but hey, I got my muscle men, so I could technically set that shit up pretty juicy like. But, now, like I said though, I was doing something to entertain people. I was doing something to get your mind off the freezing fucking merciless cold.
Yeah.
You know, I was doing something to make people feel like they were doing something.
Hi, Cora.
And I was doing something just something outside the box.
Yeah.
And even though everyone else does podcasts, that's why we kind of approach it a little different. We talk about our music, and we talk about other things too. And, you know, and again, even Kevin Smith, you know, if I can quote him again, he was talking about like when he had his heart attack, when he had his massive heart attack, he was saying, you know, well, there's no story missed because I'm a blogger. I'm a voice blogger. So there's always a story. And that's kind of what we're doing now, you know? I mean, that's why I brought up watching the movies that I watched and doing the things that I'm doing and talking about the shows that I watch. Because after some of the shit that happened in the past couple of years, I've not been very active on Facebook. You can't just message me and I respond lickety-split. Because honestly, I was expecting it to be another fuck you letter. Or I was expecting it to be something negative. Because after a while it became not just a platform for news, but it became a hub for bad news.
Yeah.
So
In there.
I ended up just getting to a point to where I don't even look at it as regularly as I do. And thanks to Legacy of the Beast, I focus most of my time playing that game. And I play and try to get bass player Eddie, because that's like the one thing I'm reaching for. And I've almost got Cyborg Eddie. I'm like 100 trooper points away from getting fucking Cyborg Eddie.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker is bad. He bad. And Super 7, I hope you silly asses are watching. You need to make a Cyborg Eddie figure and a Number of the Beast Eddie figure, goddammit.
Go. Get on that.
Yes, you need to be made. You've already made awesome toys that everybody else wants. Now make the ones I want.
Yeah. I mean, I think really, I've just been on the making music kick right now. Like it's like I don't really have hobbies right now outside of music, and that's good and bad. I mean, in a way, it's good because I'm getting a lot done, and
you're focusing all your energy on it.
I think I'm hitting kind of my stride right now, where I'm kind of charging forward a lot, not really
I'm getting my groove back, goddammit.
I'm not stopping for a lot of things, but the problem is like I'm also not stopping for a lot of things, and you know where that leads. Like sometimes you can burn yourself out a little bit. I think I kind of hit that this week. I kind of it really bottomed out around like maybe Thursday or so. Like I just kind of ran the battery out. You ever do that? You just run the battery out.
Whoo!
Yeah.
I've ran the battery out. Sorry, quite a few times. Yeah, that might be toxic, and if it is, I might have to.
It's a good thing this isn't smell-o-vision.
Tell me about it, because that would be bad. I'm good at taking the paint off of people's houses.
We're gonna chase off the 7 remaining viewers.
Those people be like, "Is he on there fucking farting?"
It's like, oh, it's good enough for the governor. Did you see the governor rip one in the fucking legislation meeting? Yeah, he was like talking about the roads or something, and he's like, now onto the roads. He just kind of lets it sit there, and he just keeps talking. It's fucking hilarious. You can look it up. And there's like, it's on YouTube. It's just Governor Justice farts on TV. It's hilarious, dude. I swear.
Oh my god, that's fucking great.
Yeah, it's totally a thing.
Word to your mom, he came to drop bombs. He got more rhymes than the Bible got psalms. Motherfucker ripping butt blasts.
Dude.
He booty busting.
I don't know. It's not
Motherfuckers dropping them. He oh shit!
Oh my God.
Really is it?
It's not during this one, I'm pretty sure, but it's not. I don't know where it at.
Oh, where is it? Let me see.
Oh, it's 42. Wait, 42:34. Hold on.
42:30. Oh, you got it. You got it.
Somebody timestamped it.
Yes.
Hold on. We don't have an assistant on this, so we got to do it ourselves.
So please, if you have not applied, apply. Now back to our roads just a second. We've done.
Did you hear it? Hold on.
Now back to our roads just a second. We've done. I don't know.
It's too bad we don't have picture-in-picture on this.
Got caught up, and we've had upteen people that have put in all kinds of licks to get caught up. My office, parkways, everybody in the world, and we are caught up. And so, please, if you have not applied, apply. Now, back to our roads just a second.
Dude, it's great. So, man, it's good enough for government work. The governor can do it. You can do it. Whatever.
There very well may be a God that listens. And he speaks the international love language
of
bilabial fricative. No, excuse me. He even moved. He even got the little side sway going on.
A little smirk.
I wonder.
They didn't even try to pass it off, dude. He just like fucking let it linger there for a second.
Did he have to let it linger? Did he have to? Did he have to? Did he have to let it
Now
linger?
back to the roads for a second.
Yeah, dude, that is delicious. That is ridiculously
It's
delicious.
fantastic.
Well,
I love
I mean, it's only fitting that something like that would occur.
Oh, dude, it's perfect.
I mean, it's shit like that that makes me not so proud to be a West Virginian.
Oh man, I love it. It makes me more proud to be a West Virginian, to tell you the truth.
Does it?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's like how Trump makes me proud to be an American. He's just the president that we deserve. Oh, is it? Oh my gosh!
You know,
it's that time.
it's a shame.
Oh,
It's such a shame. I wonder.
Batman!
Yes, I wonder. Did he have to check his shorts? When I let one go, mine ends up getting stuck in my shorts.
Well, that's a bigger operation for you because you have to check the bat suit, and inside the bat
There's
suit,
nowhere for it to
there's
go.
nowhere for it to go.
Do you realize how much rubber that is?
You would think there's got to be a market for a modification to the suit to allow you to evacuate.
Bat
Wow.
britches. I invented them. It's just a shame nobody else can wear them. Why do you think me and Superman wear our underwear on the outside? Y'all, Jesus Christ, I don't know what the hell happened there. I don't know what the hell. I don't know.
Like Batman just came in out of nowhere.
Just,
I don't know where
he
came
does
from.
that shit. That motherfucker's up there on my shelf, and he needs to stay up on the shelf. The
Oh,
fucking
dear.
Batmobile.
He just swooped down here.
He
and
just
took over
swooped down, just took over the fucking
show for a minute.
podcast. Comes in, all, I don't know what the fuck his problem is. Goddamn right it's nasty.
Oh Lord.
It's nasty as hell.
It's nasty as hell.
They deserve to die and go to hell.
Oh, I think we probably better sign off, man.
Is it about that time?
It's been 2.5 hours.
Wow.
We've been holding it down for 2.5 hours. We've still got an audience, man. It's beautiful.
Well,
We
that's
thank
great.
you so much
Yeah,
for hanging in
man,
with us.
totally.
You know, those of you who are loyal enough to stick it out for the 2.5 hours. What the fuck am I witnessing?
You were witnessing.
You have no idea.
I'm still trying to figure it out myself. Excuse me.
I don't know. We try to entertain you people the best we can, so
We
hopefully-
came here to entertain you. Hopefully we don't
Hey,
aggravate you.
We gotta laugh.
Don't you know
We're
it
good.
means the same to me.
That's what I'm trying to
I'm
do.
the one you love. Come on, baby, show your love. Oh, give it to me. Starts it. Fuck yeah. Thank yes.
we
Yes,
love you.
indeed.
Thank you.
But yeah, thank you all so much for sticking around, hanging out with us.
We're gonna be doing it again.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Just watch our page, man. We're gonna promote it. You know, you found us this time, didn't you? You'll find us next time.
Hell,
We'll be
you
back.
all were waiting on us.
You were waiting. Half
Man,
of
they're
you
going to
shared the
6
link.
again.
Yeah, half of them shared the link. Man, it's wonderful.
Yeah,
We
man.
love you guys. So we'll see you on episode 3, and I
The search for more money.
think this one's gonna be a wrap. So so make sure you get more tootsies and turds. Make sure you try to keep your dick out of your zipper.
And if you're bored, just make sure to stare at your asshole in the mirror.
Don't do anything we wouldn't do, and if you do, name it after us. Good night.
God knows. Be careful, folks. Toodaloo, go with God. Don't take any wooden nickels. And